Today we are going to be talking about the Carpenter Ant Zombies, or more so the fungus on top of them, called the Orphiosorticyceps unilateralis. The Orphiosorticyceps unilateralis fungus originates from the saphrite, which is anything that lives on something that is dying or already dead. Carpenter ant zombies are primarily found in the tropical forest habitats. After the ant is infected, it moves to the optimal humidity for fungal growth, the forest floor. The Orphiocyceps unilateralis interacts with the Carpenter ant zombies because they are its means of reproduction. The dead ant releases spores from its escoma of the fungus. These spores land on the rainforest floor where they become a minefield for the ants. The ants are unable to remove the spores because of the sticky substance found on the spores. Soon the fungus uses a range of enzymes to burrow inside of the ant and multiply. Around a week later, the ant, controlled by the fungus, finds a place that contains perfect conditions for the fungus to reproduce, and it climbs up to the top of the leaf, which is 6 or 8 inches above the ground. The ant then traverses to the underside of the leaf, bites the main vein of the leaf, and loses its ability to move its jaw, because the synapses that control the muscle have been destroyed. The fungus then punches through the back of the ant's head and releases its spores once again. The Orphiosorticyceps unilateralis fungus's evolutionary advantage includes its ability to control all movements of the infected ant. An evolutionary disadvantage would be that the fungus can only infect and control carpenter ants. There are many different species of fungus that can infect many other organisms. A beneficial circumstance for the carpenter ant zombie fungus would be if a large migration of carpenter ants entered the environment. Since the fungus does not need any other food than the ant itself, it would be able to reproduce until all the ants were gone. Another circumstance that would benefit the fungus is if the humidity at the forest floor were to increase. This would allow the fungus to grow faster and more efficiently on the ant. If the fungus were to completely wipe out the ants, or the ants migrated, the fungus would have to naturally select a new trait that allowed the fungus to infect other organisms. Normally those fungi would not live, but because that new trait is in demand, the fungus that can infect other organisms would be more prominent within the fungal population. Another circumstance that would leave a disadvantage for the carpenter ant zombies is if deforestation were to hit the habitat of the carpenter ants. The fungus would have no place to grow their spores on. The ant would have to adapt to a new environment, losing the current suitable humidity for optimal fungal growth. The fungus that infects the carpenter ant will kill it and spread spores to infect other ants. This fungus can completely destroy entire ant colonies by infecting and killing every ant in its environment. Ants have adapted to this by being able to identify an infected ant. When this happens, an ant will carry the infected ant a safe distance away from the main colony and prevent any further infection. The Orphiocyceps unilateralis has been, so far, unaffected for 48 million years. There's a low chance that would change anytime soon, if its current condition stays constant. Human interaction could cause the complete fragmentation of the sensitive ecosystem of the fungi and the carpenter ants. Humans would end up destroying the current environment that the fungi and the ants live together. Either the fungi and the ants would have to move to a new environment and adapt to its new temperature, or the humans would end up eliminating them altogether, and there would be no signs left of either the fungus or the ants.